Holy shit, dude. That was a good one. Thanks for the show.
Kurt Angle. Drink a warm glass of milk.
How about a nice big fucking drink of milk?
Nice big glass warm of milk.
Why? You suck. You suck.
Yes, it is time, my friends. It is time for Military Press Wrestling Show. I am Silent J, and with me in the red room of wrestling knowledge, I have
The professor of professional wrestling, Adam McFarland. And I'm also wondering where Mr. Dedicated is this week. What's going on here? I'm missing my tag team partner.
I'd like to know where your tag team partner is. What we do have in the boiler room, though, we have Tammy's baby boy.
Yeah!
He's over there somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. He's rocking himself back and forth, pulling hair out of his head, calling Paul Bearer daddy right now.
I actually watched that match earlier. That was a good one. Quite unique.
Yeah. And for everybody listening and tuning in live, the call-in number is 602-399-7787. That's something that I haven't done in the last few shows, was to give out the phone number, but we can take phone calls. And the Military Press Wrestling Show is brought to you by VetsOnMedia.com. Check out VetsOnMedia.com for all your veteran listening pleasure. And it is powered by Vets on Sports, which Vets on Sports' new website is going to be launching soon. And you can check out everything from the NFL to the NBA, March Madness, contact sports such as boxing and UFC. And wrestling is going to have its own section that my tag team partners over there can write articles if they want about their favorite match or what they like about wrestling. Anything wrestling, they could write an article about, and I could write an article. We could talk about whatever the case may be. Our favorite wrestlers. We could do a history mark article every week. So we're gonna have stuff up on the site there, and the relaunch of the site's gonna be coming up soon because I guess Vets on Sports' server crashed on them and they lost everything from their website. So they're gonna be relaunching. JD over at Vets on Sports is gonna be relaunching everything. So everything sports, and football and stuff like that. Which Brandon, if you can hear me out there. They talk a lot of football, and on the Saturday morning Vets on Sports show, they're going to be doing countdowns to the NFL draft, and maybe get a football player's perspective on all that. You just got to get away from the bong, son.
Go Bills!
Go Bills! Yeah, there we go. Go Bills! And by the way, JD, who's in charge of Vets on Sports, is from Boston. And is a Pats fan, and we like to give each other a lot of grief. He's in Arizona now, so he covers the Cardinals, but he's a Pats fan, and he said last night that Scott Chandler will now have a ring, so we'll see about that. But I did remind him that the Bills are on a 1-0 streak against the defending reigning Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. So
I don't know if you want me to get into that because this show may just completely turn around and end up a football show. So
yeah, well, the thing is, since you are part of Vets on Sports now, you can. I'm sure they'll love your calling in once in a while on the sports show. We talk, dude. Trust me, I go on there just guns blazing, waving the Bills flag, and the head guy there's a Pats fan, and we give each other some good grief. So, anyway, tonight is about wrestling. Okay, that's the Military Press Wrestling Show. All right, the third word is the key word: wrestling. Not that fake stuff. Not that fake 1-2 collegiate stuff where they mount each other. We're talking real wrestling, folks, with spandex, boas. It's not scripted. I just got into an argument on my last show. Somebody goes, it was scripted. I told him it is not scripted. He goes, it's a man soap opera. I'm like, when was the last time you saw a chick on General Hospital get power bombed? He could not respond. So it is not a soap opera. This is real, my friends. It's not scripted. It's not fake. We don't know who's gonna win. Never have, never will. Don't break down that fourth wall.
Damn right. The word fake is not even allowed in my home.
Yeah, right. That's it. Really, I mean, Adam's so serious about that rule. If a girl with fake boobs walks in, he just pile drives her through the floor and gets her out of there. Nothing fake. Nothing fake, my friends. That's why he's got a real sissy in there by the name of Brandon. Cause your family. But anyway, Adam, why don't you tell us about the shirt you're wearing tonight? You got a new wrestling shirt.
Yes, sir. I bring it. Representing Team Bring It tonight. I've always been a Rock fan since I was a kid. You know, that's just the side that I reach to. You know, that's like my inner child. You know.
Right, and you know, not the curly-haired Rock, not Rocky Maivia.
No, sir. No, sir. No,
Not
sir. We're talking about Dwayne the Rock Johnson, not Dwayne the Rock Johnson. We're talking about the Rock 99 Corporation. You know, going into 2000, 2001, he was definitely one of the hottest stars out there.
Yeah, and you know, going back and watching his promos with the coach is probably some of my favorite things.
God, he used to torture that guy.
Hilarious. Him, the coach, and Cole, Michael Cole, Jillian, just Garcia. Man, some of the best stuff you could ever watch with The Rock was, you know, the backstage promos that he would do with the announcers. Just absolutely hilarious. One of my favorites to watch. Even to this day, I could watch the same promo 50 times and watch it again, and then find something that I missed before, and you know, that's why I love it even more.
Right. I'm trying to think. It was Kevin Kelly. I think it was Kevin Kelly picking his nose.
Oh man, I can't remember. The one I said I can't remember that one. The one I watched, but he was talking about The Rock, and the coach looked down and he yelled at him for looking at his crotch.
Or made him do the Charleston, and he gave him the boot to the ass and sent him he kicked him off the set.
Nice. What would your because that's gonna bring us to the history mark later on in the show. But what's your favorite Rock moment? Any aspect, whether he's with the corporation or the nation, or he's by himself, or he was heel Rock with the leather vest and the you know, and the guitar. What's your favorite Rock moment?
Well, growing up, you know, like I said, growing up around 2000, when he won the Royal Rumble in 2000, oh man, I was going wild as a kid. And I remember how pissed off I was when he got screwed at WrestleMania 16, and his feud with Triple H, man, that was a great time. And I definitely hope we get to see that again in the future. That's for sure.
Yeah, that would be a nice retirement match for the both of them. You know,
I agree.
Whenever that day comes, because I tell you, I think my favorite stuff was with the Nation and DX. It just every week was funny. Good wrestling.
Oh, absolutely, that is classic.
They could all go. They could all wrestle. You know, all do it in the ring. But I tell you what, those promos were hilarious.
Absolutely. I mean, Triple H and The Rock, man, those two guys together, they just told an excellent story. And you know, they grew together. You know, they were mid-carders together. They feuded from the mid-card all the way up, and they were comical together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? It was fun. They were like the same size too, and you know, they were like physically, you know, like identical, and they just the stuff that they could do in the ring. You think two guys that are like 270, 280 pounds, in the ring, whatever they were, 6'4", 6'5", something like that. You'd think they would be limited, but they seem to like bring out, like the best in each of them. Like, like Triple H is known to be able to carry anybody in the ring and make them look good. The Rock has been known to make just about anybody look good in the ring. But when you get two guys like that are that good, it's like there was never any stepping on any toes. Like they still, like, you had two alpha males and they completely complemented each other in the ring, and they both made each other look that much better.
Yeah, those are definitely A-plus players, not B-minus players like my tag team partner here, Mr. Dedicated, missing out on the show here.
Yeah, and the funny thing is he's 2-0 right now for picking the history marks. He's on a streak, and he's not even here to enjoy it. Man. So he should not get the win for tonight.
We should definitely rob him of that. I think that's definitely tainted like Barry Bonds' record.
Nice. Is his head as big as Barry Bonds'?
No.
Nice.
Milk dud.
Before we get into Raw and get your response to Raw and Sting and all that stuff, what if you could see Rock performing? Mention going at it with Triple H, but what's something that you would like to see him do? Because his last appearance was a little lackluster with the WWE.
Rock coming out last time, it just rubbed me the wrong way how they tried to ease me over. Tried to ease the crowd over with Reigns, but I'm sure next time he comes out, it'll be different.
Do you think I think it would be perfect to see like a sometimes manager of Reigns being The Rock as heels.
The Rock is just like, he's almost an untouchable heel, man. That guy on the mic, he's excellent. And I'll tell you another thing, I always say him and Austin on the mic, they're like the two guys that just like, they try to top each other, in promos. They're just like, they're just messing with people, making jokes, trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? They're hazing them almost in promos.
Yeah.
Where they mess with them and, get the crowd going and whatnot, especially with the what's and, The Rock definitely hazes people.
Yeah. I tell you what, I've watched a clip earlier today that Brandon, I think, posted on Facebook. Like what was it? Best SmackDown ending ever. And like everybody came out and got their finisher, and it was like the last two was Stone Cold giving The Rock the stunner.
Yes.
That was just.
I was telling Brandon, I remember watching that live.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever see a moment like that where every top guy's coming out and just giving each other their finishers and just one guy standing tall, which you knew it was going to be. You always knew when there was like 10 guys in the ring, Stone Cold somehow was going to be the guy standing. You think you'll see something like that, or where it's even important enough to see? I mean, that was even like when RVD came out, it was like, oh damn, RVD. Yeah, it was like what, RVD, Jericho, Kane, The Undertaker, maybe Booker T, Stone Cold, The Rock, Kurt Angle. It's just like, the who's who. But do you think it would be that big, like if you saw Cena, Reigns, Orton, Rollins, I don't know, maybe the Usos, and just all coming out and giving each other a finish, like that? It doesn't seem like
it's just a different time. And just the care, I don't know. Those guys were just, I was more into the show then because the characters were just so much better almost, the wrestlers, they were just better, you know? It was a different time.
Yeah. The funny thing is, and two of those guys that were out there that we mentioned was Kane and RVD, and it said at that time maybe it combined 5 words a year. So
Right.
it was like even guys like
Cool.
yeah, and then somebody grumbling. I think he was still in the voice box, Kane at that time,
Yeah.
or damn near not too far after. But that was the thing. It was like you even had two guys didn't even have to say anything, and they were over. Way over. I don't know, different. Like you said, different time. But man, can you wish, huh?
Yeah, right.
But going on to Raw. What did you think of Raw? What were your reactions to it, and how do you think it's shaping up WrestleMania?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying that IC title match is getting real, real interesting. I'll tell you that. I definitely would absolutely love to see Daniel Bryan win. I'm pulling for it because he should be in the main event anyways, in my opinion. So I'll be pulling for Daniel Bryan through it. But other than that, obviously, that Sting moment, man, that really did it in. Oh, that was just awesome, and that crowd reaction was
Yeah.
epic.
That's the crowd reaction he should have got when he first walked out.
Absolutely,
The first time.
absolutely.
Even the first time when he first walked out, it was like, oh, it's Sting. It was just And then when he had that first confrontation with Triple H, with the sledgehammer, in the bat, it was like he was like, eh, Whereas
Right.
past Monday, it was like that's the reaction you want to get when you got somebody like Sting coming out.
Well, yeah, I mean that's he's an icon. Do you like how they after the show, Michael Cole referred to Randy Orton as the icon Randy Orton?
Yeah, what was that
I feel
about?
like that's a little over exaggeration. I don't know if we can consider him an icon.
Yeah, as much as that guy has won in terms of championships and belts and feuds and being, one of the, probably the top heel over the last 10 years. I mean, you could say Edge, you could say, this guy and that guy and, whatever,
I
but
mean, maybe they could also be looking at his popularity through, the internet and social media.
yeah, but that's the thing. But it's like, he's just, he's never really, really done it for me, I mean, I don't know I don't know. It's like,
I'm on and off when it comes to Orton.
I like him every time he comes back,
Right.
for like the first 2 weeks he's back, and then it's like by the third week, it's like, oh, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, you're going to slither around. I don't know.
When he was the legend killer, man, that's when he was the best. Even
Yeah.
though he was at his youngest. And I honestly don't even know if we've seen the best of Randy Orton yet.
I don't think you ever will. I think if there was, I think the thing that's held back Randy Orton has been John Cena. And I'm not saying like John Cena held him down. How are you going to hold somebody down that's had over
They tried to
over 10
make
titles?
that rivalry something that they tried to force on us one of those those rivalries that we talk about for 30 years from now. And I'm going to talk about this rivalry 30 years from now as the rivalry that I remember going to the Royal Rumble and using that as my piss break. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It never seemed authentic. Like, listen, when you combine the two and they have over 20 world titles to them, it's like, where's the guy that's the guy that's chasing? Because you look at Austin and The Rock. The Rock was always chasing Stone Cold. You know, Stone Cold always beat him at WrestleMania. You know, until the last one. Always was number one. Nobody ever said. People might have like, I like Rock more than Austin, but nobody ever said The Rock was better than Austin. You know, I mean, you could say that he was better at certain things, better at being funny or whatever, but Austin was always the man. You know, nobody's ever gonna say Ultimate Warrior he was better than Hogan. You know, you know.
He
No-
was all right compared to Hogan.
Yeah, nobody's ever gonna say Brandon Better is a better linebacker than Brandon Spoon. You know, but
I don't even know what Brandon Spoon is.
I mean, he was a one-time linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. He had a good rookie year and then never came back.
Brandon, ouch.
Dude was on fire for 15 seconds and then he was put out. But but what was it? It's like you always had that guy chasing. You always knew the Ultimate Warrior was chasing Hogan, or you always knew that the Macho Man was always chasing Hogan. You know.
Which I don't know at times if he should have been.
No, I think hands down, I would take Macho Man over Hulk Hogan any day. If I was to ever build a historical promotion and pick anybody, I'd say Macho Man would probably be number 1 or number 2 for me. Maybe
That's just hard for me, just because when it comes to Hogan, that's.
Oh, I know you. Yeah, I know you're a Hogan guy, but I always liked the crazy guys a little bit more. I like the Brian Pillman.
And which I absolutely love, Macho Man Randy Savage as well. But
Oh, I know what you mean. But if I was to pick, like great rivalries, it would be Macho Man was always chasing Hogan because Hogan was number 1. The Rock was always chasing Austin. There are guys like look at it's hard with the NWA. But Dusty Rhodes was chasing after Flair. That was always, you could say Rhodes was better, but Flair was the number 1 guy. Look at Cena.
They were pretty equal, I thought.
They're equal, so it wasn't like oh man, it just Orton. If he was a little bit taller than Cena, if he had a little bit better moves than Cena, if he was a better bag, he was better in all respect. I think he was a better wrestler than Cena. It was like Cena was always number 1. It never felt like something I really wanted to get behind. Or you look at Triple H and The Rock. You always knew The Rock was, better than Triple H. Triple H was always chasing after that. I don't think you're gonna get that now. I don't know, and that's what I think made Daniel Bryan his run so special. He was trying to prove that he was better. He was chasing after number 1. The same with CM Punk. He was chasing after number 1. Orton, I never believed he was trying to chase after number 1. It's like that dude's a freaking physical specimen who could pull out his finisher at any time. Like, how am I supposed to get behind him?
Yeah. Which would you take though? DDP, which can hit in the diamond cutter at any moment, or the Viper that could strike at any moment?
DDP, because he was 75 years old when he started wrestling. So.
Ooh. Tammy's baby boy says he was 35.
Stepping out on a joke, you freaking oaf.
He's happy that he said that though.
Yeah, I'm sure he is happy. He's also happy when somebody accidentally leaves a plunger in the toilet. So flush for effect.
All right, brother. I'll see you.
I'll see you.
We're out of here.
Take care, Brandon.
Later, Joe.
All right, man. WrestleMania, dude. Or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. But I mean, you look at now. I mean, you could. I don't know. You don't have that clear. They never had Steve Austin go after the European title. when he was number one. I could
Yeah, but the European title, I don't know. I don't want to say it meant something, but
I think
it just had, it's certain guys they had certain mid carders that were over at that time. I mean,
yeah,
now I wouldn't want to watch. I wouldn't want to watch the guys that they have wrestling for it. The U.S. belt wrestling for it. I think it needs Cena to. They need Cena to hold the U.S.
I
belt.
think yeah, they have to do that because I think it's going to be Cena winning the U.S. title, and I think um, uh, Daniel Bryan's going to win the IC title. That's what I think.
And
Because
I think they're going to take it all the way to WrestleMania for all of it.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I would love.
That would be wild.
I would like to see a unification of those two belts, just because, like, to me, like, the IC was always the number 2 belt, and then in WCW, even though it's been gone for so many years, the U.S. title was the number 2 belt, and even going back into the NWA days, that was like the number 2 belt. I mean, you can't have 2 equal number 2 belts, and like, I think you're doing a disservice to anybody that held the U.S. title when it meant something by saying it's the number 3 belt. I think they should. I think they should unify the two and then come back with a clear, like a TV title, something, or the European, or
Well, seeing that they combine, the rosters and, you know, they
yeah,
don't have like, the SmackDown titles and the Raw titles
right.
anymore.
Yeah, that's what it when they combined the two brands and they still had 2 separate tag team titles. It was like, really, you don't even have one tag team. Why do you got 2 belts? 2 championships.
I thought it was so silly. And I think the tag team titles now are freaking hideous.
They're ugly beyond belief. I mean, that might be the dumbest belt in the world. It looks like a couple pennies.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is. They're like gladiator helmets.
Yeah. Uh, what would you like to see, like, in terms of titles, like, just whatever, merge titles, drop titles. Yeah, I like how they have, the world heavyweight championship belt now. I like the fact that there's only one. You know.
Well,
Um,
it means more. It means more to have one title, that one world title instead of the WWE title and the world heavyweight title. I feel like it means more for an organization to have that one, your crown champion.
do you think excuse me? Do you think the WWE should just have, the world heavyweight title, the number 2 title, and then tag teams, or do you think there should be like a minor belt, like a European or a TV title, or just
I think that they should just go with, they should throw something fun in there. I know they don't do hardcore anymore. That was such a fun thing, when they did 24/7 rules and Crash Holly.
with the scale
Yes,
being billed as what was it, like 450 pounds or something like that?
the best was the best pound for pound hardcore champion of all time.
Yeah. I didn't. Did you like that 24/7 rule? I didn't like it because you had guys that were like 37-time title holders in a span of a week. I
Oh man, I mean, we're talking my childhood
See, I
and the
liked it,
prime
but
of it all.
I don't think they
And
should have
I
killed
absolutely
everyone.
loved it.
See, that's where you and I differ, my friend. I just think it was like, it was cool to see, like, okay, he get pinned, Bradshaw pins Crash 1, 2, 3. Then Raven turns around and hits him with something. He's not the title holder. Now here comes Kane, and then all of a sudden Crash gets it again. I like that, but I don't think Raven's 5-second reign should have counted. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you
That's the
mean.
only thing I didn't like about it. That was the only thing that got me. Was how many times have you won a belt? I won the hardcore title 17 times. Okay. Oh, how long were your spans? A total of 16 seconds.
Yeah, but what about the times that, Mick Foley was a champion for, maybe a day? Macho Man was champion for a day in WCW when
Kane.
he won the title at Bash at the Beach against
But
Kevin Nash.
I
Next
don't.
night, lost it to Hogan.
Yeah, and I don't like those changes. Like, what was the one with what was the oh shoot, the Hogan Hart.
Yokozuna,
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, so that's the very first. I found my uncle's VHS videotape, and that's the first time I ever watched wrestling. I put that in, and I was
Really?
like 5. Yeah, and I was like Hulk
Put
Hogan,
my
man.
uncle's VHS tapes in, and I'd see '70s Bush. Um, that's pretty cool that you say that. I'm trying to think what my first wrestling memory was. I can't really remember. It was like one of the Saturday morning shows. Back when WWF only had shows on TV that were at like the Boston Garden or or Madison Square Garden or the Hartford Civic Center, and so that's I remember just watching the squash matches when I was little, and so yeah, that would be my earliest memory. I couldn't tell. Oh no, shoot! I know exactly what my earliest memory is. Damn, it just hit me. The Dream Team. Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine, with Luscious Johnny Valiant as their manager. They're fighting. It was possibly the Killer Bees, and yeah, so
Okay.
that might have been my earliest wrestling memory. That or
Brian B. Blair, I'll smack him in the mouth. Iron Sheik.
give you my 10-inch cock and make him humble.
Break your fucking back.
He's got a movie out.
Yeah, I heard it was actually really well.
Yeah, there was what show was it on? Opie and Anthony, or Opie and Jem now, or Anthony Cumia show, or something. They were talking to the guys that were making it, and then it was just on the Jim Ross Report, and I guess it's out now. And they filmed this over a long period of time, like 8 years of
They had like charity fans donating money online and stuff.
yeah. Well, it turned out it was
Uh,
there was a guy who was an Olympian from Iran, the same time that Sheik was, um, and amateur wrestler, Olympian wrestler in Iran, and they both immigrated to the U.S. Well, one went to Canada, one went to the U.S., and they fell out of contact until like years later. The two boys that loved wrestling there, I guess they were twins or brothers or something like that, and they found something from this guy named Cosgrove in the closet. And it's like, that's the Iron Sheik. And oh no, I know what it was. They were watching wrestling, and the Iron Sheik was on, and I guess the story goes he was saying stuff, in Persian, and he was swearing, and their mom, who spoke Persian, was like, "What are you guys listening to? Turn that off. That's swearing." And they're like, "Oh, that's Cosgrove. That's your dad's friend." And they're, "What? Dad knows the Iron Sheik?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she pulled out like some pictures and letters of them together, and they got in contact. So they basically, and so the story goes, when the Iron Sheik would come in, I think it was like Halifax or Montreal or Toronto or something like that, where they were from in Canada. Everybody would stay at their house. The Iron Sheik would bring, like Nikolai Volkov and the Brooklyn Brawler and Don the Rock Morocco and all these guys, and hang out at their house for, during like live shows, and they'd eat dinner and drink and have fun and stuff. So these two kids grew up with the Iron Sheik coming over to their house, and
oh man, that's awesome. I mean,
so it was
that'd be kind of crazy.
could you imagine being 6 years old with the Iron Sheik at your dining room table?
Absolutely not.
No, yeah, we should have an Iron Sheik night.
I'm sure you hear and see things you are not supposed to.
Yeah, the guy,
He's
he,
pulling out an 8 ball at the dinner table.
yeah, well, and that's what they were talking about. Some of the stuff that he was doing, like they were filming, like, "Oh, I'll be right back," and they're like, oh great, don't geez, how is he gonna be now for filming? And he comes back, he's all coked up, but now he's clean and stuff, and it's a different guy. But just the Iron Sheik 40 minutes ago on Twitter goes, don't fuck you with the Kentucky. Hashtag March Madness. Iron Sheik. So the guy is, if you have a Twitter account.
Oh God, yes.
No, the one he just put out, George Bush smokes the Kush. Another one, Kendrick Intelligent Jew. What's another one? At midnight, whoever this guy's.
Everybody is a Jew in the Iron Sheik's book.
Yeah, here's one. Fuck the coffee. Where the fuck my cold beer, Bubba? I am the. Watch my movie. One of my best friends from Toronto. Respect the baseball. You watch the Blue Jays.
I'm telling you, since I was probably a senior in high school, that's been my favorite thing to follow on Twitter.
Oh my God, yeah. There's one now here. He's with a picture of him and Hornswoggle. I drink cold green beer and watch my movie with Hornswoggle tonight. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You got the cold green guy and a midget. Right there, like you couldn't do enough drugs to dream of something like that. Justin Bieber, here's another one. Justin Bieber equal leprechaun balls. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Respect my friend the Larry Zabisco. He make it to Hall of Fame. Fuck the Kelly Clarkson. Why? I mean, why does he go after like pop culture people? Like let's do two more. We gotta do every show. We gotta do a couple Iron Sheik tweets.
Oh, absolutely. I'll go find some old classic ones. Hulk Hogan has Rice Krispie balls. What the hell does that mean?
Right here. This was from 3 days ago. Let me see. Is there another one? There's a cake. There's a camel cake. It says happy birthday to me and go fuck yourself. And then I guess Sheik's birthday a few days ago, and it says today my birthday. My only wish I break that fucking fruit fly dick Justin Bieber neck just once. So listen, folks. Sorry for the language, but when his only wish is to break Justin Bieber's fruit fly dick just once is just it's a beautiful thing.
Cheeky baby.
I'm sorry. And then just now, I'm just gonna put it down in Twitter. Poof. Here we go. The Iron Sheik. My Wednesdays can go fuck themselves. So there's the Iron Sheik. And then like Al Snow's another good one. He's got the cheesiest, corniest jokes on Twitter. I just saw
Al
this.
Snow?
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to follow him. I bet he does.
This one just said broke a light bulb today. 7 years of bad ideas? ?
I feel like that's something he would say in a promo as he holds head in his right arm and thinks.
I tell you what, man, dude. I used to go crazy for Al Snow when he got rid of that damn Leaf Garrett, New Rockers gimmick, and went and became Al Snow with "Help Me" written backwards on his head, and
I had that action figure when I was a kid.
And when he made that transition, from
Squad
WWE wrestler to ECW to where he became the Al Snow we know, and then went back to WWF, the Job Squad.
Yes, Job Squad.
Dude, phenomenal. I mean, just like one of the best, I think. And he never was a heavyweight champion. Never heavyweight champion. But man, did he reinvent how good a mid-carder can be.
Absolutely. So, underrated, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. A good moveset, but you know what I liked about Al Snow? He could sell. He was good at selling good at selling moves.
Pepper.
Oh yeah,
He ate Pepper the dog.
yeah. Oh, that was with the Boss Man. That that feud that they had um was good stuff. And again, two guys that if they were lucky, they could be a good IC champion. Uh,
Yeah.
but two guys, weren't going to be going after the world title. Weren't really even going to be going after the IC title.
They're gonna entertain you though.
But hell yeah, they were entertaining. I mean, the Big Boss Man completely underrated when he put on the Shield outfit. Um, with just the black fatigues and the tactical vest. Um,
Um,
Big Boss Man was really underrated when he came back to WWF in the 90s.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was definitely, I mean, not growing up because I was a kid and I hated the corporation growing up. But now I appreciate the Big Boss Man a hell of a lot more. I could see that he was definitely pretty good in the ring. He knew what he was doing.
Or a big dude. That dude was big too. He
He
was
was a big dude.
300 something pounds. He was
Yeah, he was, man. He was definitely a heavy set dude, but he could move a little bit, just a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah, a little pep in his step.
Did you ever hear the story about how he was the reason why Jim Cornette broke both of his legs or both of his ankles?
When he dropped from the scaffold,
When he dropped from the scaffold and didn't catch him, or
say it was Big Bubba or
yeah, he was Big Bubba Rogers at the time, which was a cool gimmick. I remember him in WCW as, oh god, I remember when he first left WWF and he dropped the Big Boss Man gimmick, and he was Big Bubba Rogers, and then he went on to be the Guardian Angel. Um, but as he had that Big Bubba Rogers gimmick before he went to the WWF as the Big Boss Man, and he was basically like a Southern hitman type, Southern tough guy type of gimmick, where
it was like a biker dude.
well, he had the suit for a while. He did the biker thing too, but when he first came out, he had like just the dress pants and like the suit jacket, like the
Oh,
suspenders.
okay, yeah.
But then he had the
He
loaded.
was like
No,
the guard. It was like a
yeah, he was the
security
type of
guard
guy.
dude.
Yeah, he had like the loaded glove. He was the body.
Like an '80s movie or something.
Oh yeah, anything cheesy '80s movie where the soundtrack is a synthesizer. That was Big Bubba Rogers' gimmick. But yeah, when he
Looked fresh out of No Holds Barred, the movie with Hulk Hogan in it.
and Zeus, which I remember because
Zeus.
I'm older than you. When that movie came out, and I remember Saturday Night's Main Event, and it was like Hulk Hogan versus Zeus. I forgot I think it was a tag team. Just that's when it really sunk in how bad somebody could be at wrestling. That was like 10, maybe, somewhere around there. And I remember watching it, just waiting, because Saturday Night's Main Event was special. It was like, oh, primetime wrestling, and that's not WCW or NWA at the time. So it was like, oh, primetime wrestling, it's on at night. This is cool. This is like fucking Christmas in July. And then I get stuck with Zeus, and it's like, what the hell is this? Like, this guy sucks. Like, wait a second, they're not what? Like, but he was a badass in the movie. Why can't he do that stuff he did in the movie? That's when I started realizing that, like, there were really good wrestlers. There are some shitty ones.
Absolutely. You compare, that to the Bulldogs and the Hart Foundation.
Yeah. What would you consider, like, speaking of, like, what was like the one person or wrestler or whoever that it was like had so much hype, looked unstoppable, and we're not gonna say Glacier, but just looked like the man, and then he got in the ring, and it was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Man, who had the baddest look? And when they got in the ring, it was just.
Yeah, like who's the wrestler that says, like, the guy when they talk about crappy wrestlers, he goes, you don't know the difference between a wrist lock and a wristwatch.
Nice quote from Ready to Rumble there, DDP.
Oh, yep, yep. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Like,
I mean, now I could tell you Big Show because I can't watch Big Show for the life of me now.
I remember when he used to do drop kicks and come off the top rope. I just,
Giant Gonzalez,
yeah,
El Gigante.
yeah. Holy cow. Yeah, I remember when it was him and Sting were fighting like. It was like they were doing battle with the Four Horsemen or the remnants of the Horsemen or something when he was in WCW.
I was watching Great American Bash 1989, and it was El Gigante. Let's see, it was the Horsemen. It was Sid, Arn, and which them two didn't even like each other. It was Sid, Arn, and I forgot who else they had with Barry Windham versus El Gigante and might have been Junkyard Dog, and they had someone else. I forgot who else they had.
Oh man, I can't. Yeah, I can't remember now. I'm trying to think.
But
yeah, that was a horrible. Point being, that was a horrible match.
And the fact that going back to WrestleMania 9, he was one of the first matches I ever watched. Him and Undertaker.
They beat him, technically.
Huh?
Technically beat the Taker.
Oh, God. He chloroformed him.
Yeah, well, hey, man. I mean, if Brandon counts those as dates, we could count that as a win here.
Yeah, so Brock Lesnar and El Gigante got to go at it.
Yeah, winner take all. You know, they're real two. The real two. Now, I got a question. Who do you, of all the proponents with the Undertaker at WrestleMania, I think you could make the crappiest wrestling match ever with Giant Gonzalez, El Gigante, and with Nathan Jones.
Oh, God. Well, Nathan Jones, that guy, he definitely doesn't know a wrist lock from a wrist watch.
Yeah, that could be historically speaking, that could be the worst match ever.
God.
And I saw the new Harlem Heat 2000 wrestle. So that's.
Was that Ahmed Johnson?
Ahmed Johnson,
Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray, and who was the other one? Big.
Oh, geez, Big T.
Big T. Yeah.
That guy, what the hell was that thing? He's like.
It's funny. He looks like Big E.
I mean, he's like beyond Big E.
He was super monster big.
Yeah, like doesn't even look good. I don't even know who the hell wants that look.
When you're that big and somebody goes, "Hey, you should get into wrestling," you should say, "Listen, for my pride, I won't." Because when you're that big, here's the thing: it's not just about being big and being a wrestler. There's plenty of big guys who suck. I think you look at Brock Lesnar; he's huge, but the dude's an athlete. That's what he looks good.
Absolutely. Even Vader. Vader was an athletic dude.
Vader was a monster, man. I mean, I don't even say that because 450 pounds.
Bam Bam.
Doing a moonsault, you know. I mean, Bam Bam and Vader both were able to do moonsaults.
Absolutely. Bam Bam did cartwheels around the ring.
Yeah, I just like two big, huge guys being able to do it. But then there's other big guys. It's like too muscular. Doesn't add up. I mean, what was one guy recently who was like, he came back a second time and he was okay, but he was a jacked up dude. He was the bailiff when Vince McMahon had his court. He was out about 7, 8, 9 years ago. He was in the WWE. Just a big dude. He was jacked up. They got rid of him for a while because he was juicing.
Like he looked like really, really gross juice.
Oh, Chris Masters.
Oh, I was just about to say Chris Masters.
Yeah, he played the bailiff in Vince McMahon's courthouse once.
You know what? He had an awesome gimmick going there. That master lock deal that he
Yeah,
had going on there.
but that's all he had. All he listen.
Oh,
When you're
absolutely.
when
But
you're best,
just the
when
whole thing, I thought it was entertaining to watch at
oh, it was
least.
entertaining. But when your best move is a full Nelson,
Yes, I agree. Yeah,
like
he
work on
was.
work on a sleeper, man. Open yourself up. Become a
You know,
scientific.
they started putting them with, guys that were, better wrestlers like Cena and
Yeah,
Carlito. I mean, Carlito was even better,
yeah.
um,
Oz
especially with it being in his blood and, his whole family and all that, everybody in his family being wrestlers.
is. I think that's when the WWE started dropping the ball in the mid carders because, like you said,
Ah,
back early 2000, some of those SmackDown days, like amazing mid carders. Um, But then you get into like when it was like, and I know not taking anything away from these guys, but like when you have like Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, Carlito, um, that was a good group of mid carders. I mean, arguably you could say, I mean, Batista even then was like a mid carder for a short amount of time, but there are other guys that really strong mid carders. Um, and it's like they just kind of like fell off with with those guys. I mean, I would take Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Carlito. I take the three of those guys, and I mean that's a good.
they
That's a good.
ruined Shelton Benjamin, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, who? I mean,
Because that guy could have been so much more.
yeah. What's his name? The Arab dude.
Muhammad Hassan.
It's not. He was a good wrestler. That
Yeah.
just bad timing, man. You
He
get
was Italian. He wasn't even. He wasn't even. You
Yeah.
know.
You give him that gimmick, and then there's that. I remember he was like the dude was on fire. He was supposed to be the world champion, and then the London bombing happened, and then you never saw him on TV. Um,
In Buffalo at the Great American Bash, Undertaker choke slammed him through the stage there area up on the Titantron.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was there. This was my first ever pay per view.
yeah. Then they had what? They had Davari. You had what? Umaga was still floating around. Then
Umaga was a good one.
yeah. I mean, they had such a strong cast of really good mid card talent. That it's like, and they ruined. Like Carlito was good. He was entertaining. He was messed up. He had his issues, but he was good. Shelton Benjamin was freaking awesome. I still remember when he coming off the top rope and he took that super kick. Dude,
That from Shawn Michaels on Raw. Yeah.
one of the best. I think one of the best Raw moments ever because that was like dude, it's not like he hit the ground and then, it's not like his feet planted and then he took the super kick. It's like, if I remember, like, he took this super kick when he was midair. It's like, and he wasn't picking his teeth up afterwards. So it's like, when you got two
Yeah,
guys
I've
like
seen him do some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff in that ring. That's for sure.
Charlie Haas was good. What was one French dude?
Rene Dupree.
Rene Dupree, kind of like that guy. Mid card, there was some good mid card talent, and then you look at now, like how bad the mid card scene is when they have really good guys. You know?
Yeah, they could definitely build a lot of guys out of there and make a strong mid card, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what they got going on back there writing. I don't know why they don't. It's almost like every week you see not the same thing, but certain parts of the show it is the same every week
Yeah.
compared to there was a time where every week you're watching a different thing. I got a question. When am I going to get a title match on Raw? You know?
When Brock drops the belt.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, geez. but don't they realize that they could that's how you get ratings? It's how you get ratings. Why are they not willing to give a title match to Raw?
If they, if they were to, can you still hear me? What the hell happened? Hold on, man. I don't know if you can hear me at all. I can't hear you at all. Your sound just cut out. Well, we got the professor of professional wrestling. I can't hear him right now. He's something cut out. What the hell happened here? I don't know. Let me see. I'm live. He's live. Can't hear him. Yeah, we're gonna have Adam back on in a second. I can't hear him right now. I think his sound shit the bed. I think his sound crap the bed. His mic. Let me see here. I don't know. Give me a moment. Let me see. Sorry, everybody. A co-host sound just crapped out. Let's see if no. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to. Okay, Adam dropped out. He's gonna try. I think he's gonna try to get Adam back on here in a second. We only had about 5 minutes left in the show. I wanted to go over one more thing quick. We'll see. We'll see if he gets that invite there. And sorry about that technical issue towards the end of the show. We're just getting to the history mark of the week. And boo, I hate when things like this happens. We'll see about getting them back on. What the hell happened here? I hate when this happens. Unforeseen issues, my friends. Unforeseen issues. Boy. I don't feel he'll be back on. I don't know. So what we might do is hold off on the history mark of the week, which was factions, which was supposed to be the Nation of Domination. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Adam's going to be back on or not, but my apologies, everybody, for this hiccup that we had for the last few minutes of the show. I do apologize, but anyway, what we were going to do, if I can say it again for the third time because it's a charm, is on WrestleMania, we are going to have a get together at the abode of my tag team partners, Adam and Mike, and we were going to watch some wrestling, some WrestleMania, if you will. And what we were going to do is try something different. I don't know if it's going to work. I can't promise you anything. I can't make any promises at all. We were going to do a live reaction. WrestleMania reactions. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch WrestleMania, and then we're going to try to post live thoughts on WrestleMania. Like our reaction to the main event or the tag team championship match or the IC battle with everybody or the Andre the Giant Memorial, and whatever match, the Divas match, it looks like the Sting and Triple H match. We're gonna try to get our reactions. Myself, Adam, Mike, Brandon, whoever else. I guess there's going to be a boatload of people there. Well, not a boatload. What's a boatload? If you get too many, it's going to tilt or tip or sink or sputter. So we're going to try to get a bunch of reactions from a bunch of people watching WrestleMania. And so that's what we're going to try to do. Now, if it's successful, that'd be great. If not, I just let you know we're at the mercy of technology, the mercy of technology. Okay, so, but I'm gonna go. Listen, because it's 10:34. All right, and I don't think Adam's gonna be back on. My apologies for the technical issue, but it happens. Live entertainment, folks. So anyway, next week, Military Press Wrestling Hour, episode number 5 will be coming at you. We will make up for and that's Adam right there. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Hold on, let me tell him. I don't think they'll be back on. But next week, episode 5, we will do the I don't know, is it my stuff? We will do the man, no, I'm sorry. I'm fluttering here because we're having a technical issue. Okay, I keep on trying to join. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, we're gonna have the history mark next week, the Nation of Domination. We'll do a double dose of history. All right. And so we'll do our faction with the Nation of Domination, and then in honor of WrestleMania coming up, we're gonna do another history mark on next week's show. We are going to do WrestleMania. We're going to pick our number 1 WrestleMania in our minds. And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not going to be 1 or 2. Stop it. Those shows sucked. All right. So anyway, on behalf of Adam and Mike and Brandon, I am Silent J, and this is the Military Press Wrestling show. We're going to get going, but tune in next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this fine network, VetsOnMedia.com. The show is brought to you by Vets on Sports. Check out Vets on Sports on Saturday mornings, Saturday afternoons. I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check it out on VetsOnMedia.com. And just go to Vets on Sports' homepage, YouTube page, rather. And you'll be able to see the show. You'll be able to watch the show. So check it out. And my next show is this Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Center Mass with Rob and Silent J on, again, this fine network. Okay? I will talk to you guys later. Until then, folks, watch wrestling, okay? Have fun.